Hello again everybody, this is Gusto. I have another review for you today. Recently I reviewed the RCW, which is Ration Cold Weather number 2A, which is the breakfast portion. And today I will be reviewing the B packet of the same Ration Cold Weather. Again, this was sent to me very generously by Steve1989, and this is a Sin Pack Ration Cold Weather from 1992. The Ration Cold Weather was designed for Arctic conditions or cold weather environments or snowy environments. It required a ton of water to reconstitute and contained very calorically dense foods, amounting to a little over 3,000 calories for the 2 packets in total. If you look on the outside, the packaging is the same as the other one. It has the repeating text, and the material is the same as modern MREs, just white to blend in with the environment. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, let's see here. We have Oatmeal Cookie and Granola bars. I haven't had those before, so I'm excited about that. There's the main entree, the beef stew. It is freeze-dried by Oregon Freeze Dry. Same company that makes the modern long-range patrol rations and meal cold weather. Also makes Mountain House. There's instant tea. There's another MCI style spoon. It's actually not exactly the same. It has this kind of weird end on it. It's a little bit different, but about the same size as the MCI ration spoons. There's an orange beverage base powder. Feels okay. There's a chocolate covered brownie. M&M's. They actually don't feel like they're all powdered up like the old M&M's that you get in some of these rations. They're all broken to pieces. So this is October 93 Best Buy date there. There's more oatmeal cookie and granola bars, and a lemon flavored tea. So let's open these things up and get the beef stew reconstituted. Alright, so again, our main entree is the beef stew, freeze-dried, and it's prepared by Oregon Freeze Dry. The ingredients are right here. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of additives or anything like that. Pretty typical for a freeze-dried ration. It's just the ingredients themselves, and the preservation is done by the freeze-drying process. So the instructions say to cut this open, pull out the preparation pouch, add 12 ounces of hot water, and close the bag and put it back in the foil sleeve to maintain heat. So we'll do that. See if we get a good hiss here. Oh, that's so satisfying. Alright, so that bodes well for our entree being well preserved. So there you go. It is inside a plastic bag inside of the foil pouch. Let's open up the foil pouch really well. It does have these cardboard liners to prevent pinholes. There's one on each side. Actually, yeah, okay. So there's your inner pouch. There's the cardboard for the bottom, and it's taped to the bottom of the bag, just I guess to make it stand up well. Go ahead and open up the preparation pouch, and there it is. You can see the pieces of the vegetables. There's potatoes and corn, peas, carrots, easily identifiable in there, and then the brown bits of beef. It has no scent whatsoever, as it shouldn't, as it's freeze-dried. Okay, there you go. I'm going to put this over here and pour the water in without me holding it so I don't burn myself this time. give that a stir. Usually with these products you want to add just a little bit less than it calls for, otherwise it can be pretty soupy. I'll just start with a little bit first and add it as I see fit. And try not to crush up the potatoes. Alright. A nice beefy scent coming off of this. And as you can see, it's reconstituting quite well. It may still be a little bit dry, so I'm going to add just a little bit more water before I close it up. Oh, and I spilled it. That was for you, Stella. Alright. Let's close this up. I have saved a couple of the little closure strips from the 2A portion of this ration. And thank you to the astute viewer that told me that I used it wrong on the first portion. You actually wrap it around the bag and twist it shut. That's how that's actually closed. Alright, and as the instructions say, stick it back in the pouch and set it aside for 10 minutes or so. Alright. Set that there. We'll go about our business. Next we'll mix our beverages. We'll start with the beverage base orange. This one is not as chunky as the lemon lime was in the previous video. Just kind of granular appearing in there. Kind of a tang scent to it. It's actually exactly what it smells like, is tang. We'll add about 12 ounces of water to that. Nice bright orange color. Give it a stir. Next we'll make our tea. Again, this is instant tea, lemon flavored. This says to reconstitute it with a third of a canteen cup, so that's about 6 ounces. There it is. A little chunky. Let's give it a stir. That did come with 2 packages of tea. I'm just going to prepare one. We'll get to the side items. First thing is going to be an oatmeal cookie and a granola bar. And this came with 2 of these. I'm going to save one. Just open one package. So consistent with the other package, this is a late 92 production date. Little hiss. Alright. So there's an inner package inside the foil pouch. There it is. Okay, so you have a oatmeal cookie bar and a granola bar. We'll open those up individually. First, the oatmeal cookie. Actually, that smells really good. Sweet scent to it. No sourness at all to that scent. It doesn't look to be too darkened. Again, this package was evidently stored in very, very good conditions. That smells fantastic. And then the granola. Now this has a little bit more potential to be sour or rancid because it'll have a lot more oils in it because of the components Alright. Especially if there's any nuts or anything. It kind of looks like there's some nuts in there and it looks a little dark. So that may be a little oxidized. But we'll see. It smells okay. Doesn't smell sour. And those could be raisins too. It's kind of hard to tell. Next, M&M's. Plain M&M's. And these have a best by date of October 1993. So quite old. Usually when you get a package this old, they're a little bit more than some candy chips in kind of a chocolate powder. We'll see how these fared. Oh, it looks promising so far. This is amazing. They look good as new. That is absolutely amazing. And they even have the light brown, old light brown M&M's. And last is going to be the chocolate covered brownie. Okay. Looks a little, looks like there might, no, actually, there's not a whole lot of surface oxidation. Looks okay. The chocolate looks to be just fine. Pretty fresh. Got some on my thumb. There it is. I'm always a little bit wary of old chocolate items because of the way those fudge bars are. They're absolutely horrible. We'll see if the brownie is any better. It's kind of dry looking on the inside. It's got a little bit of that sour scent. We'll see. Alright, so I gave the beef stew about 12 or 15 minutes to reconstitute. It's time to pull that out and see how it looks. Alright. You can see in there, pouch is still pretty hot. Pull it out. There's the beef stew. Alright. Let's undo our clip. Pour it on the plate. Smells really good. Typical. I've had the Mountain House beef stew, and it smells about the same, looks about the same, and makes sense since it's made by the same company. So what you can see in there, let me get a close up. So you see pretty large bits of beef in there. That's really held together well. And then there's corn, actually that's potato, peas, carrots, and I think there's corn in there. We'll see. Let me get into it. Yeah, I think there's a piece of corn right there. So, looks pretty good. So I think we'll start with the side items first, and start with this cookie bar. Alright, so there you can see the texture of the cookie bar. Nice sweet scent to it. Oh, that's delicious. So the texture is the same as an oatmeal cookie. Nice sweet, crunchy, kind of a sweet cinnamon flavor to that. Very, very good. No sourness or anything. It's actually quite well preserved. Now let's go for the granola. This is the one that, you know, there's more potential for it to go sour. There's more oil in the components, especially if there's nuts or seeds. And I can't tell if that looks like a nut, so that has potential for rancidity. So we'll see. All right. So there is your cross section and texture. That actually tastes really good. There's no sourness at all to it. And yeah, it kind of makes sense. The nuts in the other package were just fine as well, so this should be just fine. Really good flavor. Tastes like really just any granola bar. Maybe not quite as crunchy. A little bit on the chewier side, but very good flavor. I'll go ahead and try our main entree next. Try to get a little bit of everything. Some potatoes and some peas, some beef. And there is the detail up close. Oh, that's delicious. That's really, really good. The Oregon Freeze Dry Company makes excellent products, and you know, they're rated in, you know, their Mountain House freeze-dried vacuum sealed items to last, 25 years or so, and this has held up very, very well. Not too salty. The ingredients taste very natural, and as they are. I mean, you saw in the ingredient list that the ingredients that go into the beef stew are just that. There's not a whole lot of preservatives or anything of that nature, because the preservation is done by the freeze drying process itself, so it's not needed. But that is really, really tasty. You can taste all the components individually. You can see here there's carrots and peas, and actually you can taste those textures individually. It's not just like a big mush of everything in one texture. You can actually tell the individual components. Yeah, it's very, very good. Very good. Alright, well, let's try our beverages before we go on to the desserts. Give the tea another mix. It's kind of clumpy to begin with, but it's reconstituted okay. So there you go. It has a lemon scent to it, but it's pretty subtle and otherwise doesn't smell like much of anything. It actually tastes more like a lemonade than it does a tea. You really don't taste a whole lot of the tea flavor, just kind of a strong lemon flavor, lightly sweetened, so it's not excessive at all. Actually pretty good flavor. Again, it tastes more like lemonade. And for the orange drink, it's got this funny layering effect there. I think it's kind of foam on top. I'll try and mix it up a little bit better. It's got some sediment on the bottom that hasn't reconstituted very well. So you can see it's kind of a turbid, bright orange color. Smells like Tang, and it is Tang. That tastes just fine. Very good. Now for the desserts, and this is pretty remarkable. Like I was saying, most M&Ms, let me get some light brown ones in there. Most M&Ms of this age are reduced to powder and little flakes of the candy shell, and pretty inedible. I'm gonna try to break one of these open so I can see what the chocolate looks like. I'm gonna have to bite it. It actually is. It's fresh. There's no oxidation to that chocolate. It tastes just fine. That's amazing. 24 years old, and these M&Ms taste like they just came off the shelf. That's awesome. Another drink of Tang. And for the chocolate covered brownie, so you can see the brownie on the inside, it's pretty dry, and it has a little bit of that funny sour scent to it, kind of reminiscent of those fudge bars. Let's try it anyway. It's pretty dried out. I'm kind of getting a little bit of a sense of that mouth drying up. Yep, yep. That everything in all your mucous membranes just dry up with that kind of rancid chocolate effect. It's rather remarkable. It's a very, very bitter aftertaste, and I'm not going to eat any more of that. It's gone bad. Alright, but otherwise, everything is in remarkably great condition. The M&Ms, like I said, they look like they're brand new. The bars are both excellent. Very, very good flavor. And then this, I mean, you can't say enough about how well that's preserved, and the flavor is excellent. So, enough talking up Oregon Freeze Dry. They do a great job at producing freeze-dried meals, and this is no exception. So overall, the Ration Cold Weather, both the 2A and the 2B component, they were absolutely like a delightful time capsule of a ration from 24 years ago, and remarkably well preserved, and just fascinating to dive into. This has been a very, very fun review. So again, Steve1989, as always, thank you so much for your generosity and for sending this to me. It would have been impossible to find otherwise, so thank you so much. And to all the viewers, thank you very much for watching and being interested. This is an exciting journey and a great community. So thank you all for your support, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.